Hey, so today I want to talk about two creative things that I have done. Um, so I've told you in the past I listen to a lot of podcasts, going to work, from work, at work, just out and about when I'm alone. Um, so I've talked about that in the past. Well, podcasts sometimes have ads, and they sometimes have a Patreon account and things like that. Well, Patreon, sometimes the numbers are public. And so if you do follow a few podcasts, I think, yeah, any type of creative content like YouTube or whatever, if you're curious, you can check out Patreon. Sometimes those numbers are there so you can see exactly how much they make per month, per episode, things like that. It's kind of interesting, it really is. But my project was I went through and just for some of my favorite podcasts, went through and figured out exactly how much of the time they spent with ads, the percentage of the time. And that's a really easy formula to do with just how long the episode is and then how long the ads were. And that's just a percentage. So that's something I did. It's kind of interesting to see what the numbers were. Something else I did is my old job, I dealt with a lot of interoffice envelopes. There are tons and tons and tons of them because different departments need to transfer papers around, POs, things like that. So what I decided to do is inside each envelope, I would write something. It got to the point where all the envelopes that I had already had something written in it. So I went through and flipped those out with like another department with their empty envelopes and went through and wrote something in there. Sometimes it was just a simple quote. Sometimes it was a sticker. Sometimes it was a stamp. Sometimes I went through it and started writing down the chemical elements from the beginning. And I tried to mix it up so like all the elements were not all together, that they were split apart. So to this very day, if you go to that place and open up one of the interoffice envelopes, you may see something I wrote inside. Because by the time I left there, I pretty much had all the ones I had access to had something written in it. And, just like I said, just simple phrases, simple quotes. I wrote out the periodic elements. I got all the way up to like 38. There's also, I wrote some words in other languages that I know that are like happy words that we don't actually have here in America. Like the state of being euphoric or something like that, in like Icelandic or something. So these people would have to go through, and if they see the word, they'd have no idea what it means, and then go through and look it up. So that's something I did. I had a lot of fun with, and I bet you no one knew who was doing. No one saw me doing it. Bet you no one knew who was doing it. And to this very day, I'm sure a lot of those envelopes are still floating out there with my stuff in it. And that makes me happy, because once you know that they're there, every time you get an envelope, you look inside and see what's inside and see what I wrote. I don't know, just something I did. It took 3 seconds to do each one. And it was my way of being creative. Little hidden art. So